Welcome to Pashua's Moment with Pastor Charles Kiyaga.
Yes, praise the Lord, brethren. Once again, we are back on our program, the Pashua's Moment. And here I'm seated at the Pashua's Prayer Mountain, a place dedicated to nothing else but the cause of seeking for God. It's a place you can come and meditate, have time to concentrate, have time to pray, and have time to connect with God. It's been dedicated for that cause, and God, I know God respects it. And the name matters. It is a site for seeking God. When you come here, even when you are seeking, or you've come because of a need, because we are used to come to God because of pressures of life. We don't come to God because we love Him, because we want to draw closer to Him. We come because we are choking with many problems. But I encourage you, don't wait problems to choke you before you come to God. Make it a habit to come to God and let God be your strength. And then the problems will even be far away when God is close by. Let us go to the message. Yesterday we were here in Genesis chapter 11. We saw the children of men again were constructing a tower to reach to God. They want to reach God through their industrialism. And that's not the right approach. We turn to God with our hearts. God doesn't dwell in buildings, in great architectural work. No. God dwells in hearts of men. If we concentrate on building buildings, but don't build the hearts of people back to God, those buildings will become empty. They will become, they will be lifeless. They will be lifeless. God dwells in the hearts of men. We can build buildings. I've gone to places all over the world. I've seen great architectural work. I've seen churches that had great architectural work being turned into public places, social clubs, some of them being turned into bars, because there is no life anymore. Because God doesn't dwell in buildings. There is no architectural work. However good it may look, that astonishes God. God is the greatest architecture. Just imagine the way He molded this entire planet Earth. But it's not the only planet. And it's not even the biggest of all planets. There are so many others, much bigger than planet Earth. So that architecture that designed all this, there is no architectural work that you can do that will astonish Him. No. It is all trivial. It is all nothing. But we waste a lot of time doing great architectural work of our buildings, but spend very little time in building a bond and building covenant and turning our hearts back to God. This is why the churches are becoming lifeless. This is why the churches are becoming empty. This is why churches are being turned into public places, into bars, nightclubs. Actually, in Europe, there are a lot of churches that are being repurposed into other things. There are social clubs there. They turn them into nightclubs, into bars, because they have become lifeless. The more we concentrate on doing architectural work, but do not work on our hearts towards God, our buildings will become empty and meaningless. So the message was, let us build our hearts towards God, not build structures. These people were building a tower to reach God. You cannot reach God through your technological advancement, through your architectural designs. No, you reach God by turning your heart to Him. Your heart is more of a treasure. And they said, come, let us build ourselves a city. That is verses 4. Genesis 11. Ourselves are sitting on a tower whose top is in heaven. Let us make a name for ourselves. Let us make a name for ourselves. Now that is also another misnomer. Instead of making a name for God, many of us are busy making a name for ourselves. We may have big names, but those names cannot stand the test of time. If God has not given us a name, but we ourselves are trying to make our names, those names will not be sustainable. They will not live the test of time. So these people said, let's make ourselves a name. I know there are many of us who are working very hard to make big names. But the name which God himself has not bestowed on us, that name will fade away. Instead of wasting a lot of time making a name for ourselves, let us turn to God. Then God will give us a name that will never fade. The people who concentrated on God gave them a name, that name which never faded. There are people who remember. They have been here thousands and thousands of years ago, like King David. God gave him a name. He told him, don't build me a house. I will instead build you a house. I will give you a name that will never fade. So let us, instead of building our names, let us build our hearts towards God. God bless you.
Eyo yebadde Pursuers Moment ng'ekutusiddwako essomero lya Pursuers Junior School erisangibwa mu Butambala ku kkubo lya Mpigi Gombe. Kati wulira enkizo eriwo singa otwala omwana wo ku Pursuers Junior School. Interviews za bwereere. Essomero liyimiridde ku musingi ogutya Katonda ate ng'omwana agonjulwa bakugu. Tutumbula ebitone eby'enjawulo mu mwana. Tulina amazzi amayonjo ku ssomero ate ng'omwana wasomera ne weyeebaka abanga mukungu. Endya y'abayizi nnungi byansusso anti emmere tugirimira nga ne faamu y'ente weeri ku ssomero. Tulina emmotoka ezitambuza abaana. Pursuers Junior School e Butambala tusomesa abaana okuva mu baby class okutuuka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu mu ddene boarding. Okumanya ebisingawo 0772 41 98 4 ne 0702 36 41 64. Pursuers Junior School Butambala, in pursuit of knowledge.